Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I want to talk to you a little bit about my zero carb way of life tonight. I want to talk about this more often because I get a lot of questions from you guys asking me what I eat, why I'm doing it, is it working for me, all that kind of stuff. But what I'd like to do is have like a basic video with information so that when I talk to you later about something else, I can just refer people back to this video so that they can get the lowdown on what's going on. As soon as this video is done and I have it as a resource, I'm going to start telling you guys all kinds of experiences and what this diet has done for me. Please know when I say diet, all I mean is what I consume. This has nothing to do with weight loss. Not for me, not for many. But people do tend to lose weight. But that's not what I'm after. So first of all, this is called zero carb because it is animal kingdom only. Only meat and meat products and water. And a few other things that are not optimal, and I will be telling you that. I found out about this because I had followed a low-carb diet for a little over a year and then started to fall off the wagon. I enjoyed not having cravings on low-carb, but that's all low-carb did for me was cut my cravings. As soon as I started to introduce carbs again, starches, bread, pasta, sweets, things like that, I started getting cravings again, and I ended up falling off the wagon and spent like 2 weeks in a potato chip binge, and just any kind of carbs I could find. I was so depressed and just wanted to be completely wiped off the face of this earth because I was like, I cannot continue to live like this, and there's nothing I can do to control it. I don't even like to control a craving. If I'm having a craving, I want to get that craving fed, get it over with, try to work, even if that only lasts 20 minutes. I don't care. I'm going to work good for 20 minutes. The craving comes back. I'm going to feed it again. That's how I have chosen to live because I can't stand craving something and ignoring it. So when I tell you that I am not suffering from cravings, believe me, I'm not. I am that bad about cravings, and I am not suffering with cravings doing what I'm doing now. So anyway, I was just off that low carb. I was depressed, and I discovered an article by a woman named Kelly Hogan. I read her blog, I read other blogs. I knew that this was what I was trying immediately, not tomorrow, not after Thanksgiving. I did this right before Thanksgiving. I started immediately, and it is the best thing I have ever done for myself. So I will fill you in on more of that later, but for right now, I just want to let you know 4 resources down below under this video. In the description box, I'm going to have all kinds of links for you to Kelly's blog, to the Facebook group that I'm in, Zeroing In on Health. It is a public Facebook group, so you can read all the posts and replies or comments. So a lot of links for information are down below. What I'm going to do for you today is I'm just going to go over the basics of the FAQs. These FAQs can be found the public Facebook group, Zeroing In on Health. Link is down below. On a PC, you can go to the files and then look for FAQs, and then you're going to be able to find all this info. I'm just going to go over a little bit of it with you today. It's a PDF file, so I guess you can't open it on a phone. I don't know about an iPad. So I'm just going to start with the FAQs, and it might make me think of something to tell you quickly. But again, I want to talk about this more often, so I'm going to be jumping in now on my channel anytime I feel like sharing something with you guys. I don't care if it's just a minute. I just want to get this out there for any of you who would like help. I want to explain that this has nothing to do with weight loss for me. Most who need to lose weight will lose weight eating this way, but I jumped on this because I wanted to get rid of cravings again, and I read about so many people that had such good results with so many other things that this fixed, like mental health issues with depression, anxiety, even bipolar, inflammation of joints. I'm trying to think, congestion. I mean, there's just rheumatoid, people who have rheumatoid arthritis, who had pain constantly, lost their pain, just so many things. So I was like really curious to try it, and I just am so glad that I did. And I will tell you more about how it has affected me personally in other videos, but let's just get started on the FAQs. Of course, you can read this yourself, but I'm going to read a little bit of it to you. What is zero carb? We eat foods from the animal kingdom. We contend that eating only meat and eliminating carbohydrate foods causes the least amount of damage to your body. This allows healing to occur, and this healing can bring weight loss and often relief from many illnesses and symptoms related to poor diets. One thing I've learned is, and I kind of always figured this was the way things were working, because I know how I've struggled all my life with my weight, and people will say you're not trying hard enough, you don't want it bad enough, and you got to do this, you got to do that. Anybody who has been overweight for 20, 30 years and didn't want to be overweight knows everything about it that a thin person will never know. So, not even a doctor. I once had a doctor try to help me. Well, this is what you could do. And I said, if you have weighed over 300 pounds for 10 years of your life, and you lost all that weight, and you've kept it off for another 10 years, I will take your advice. She stopped. She's like, you know what? She says, no, I've never been where you are. And that was it. I would not listen to anything else she said about any advice about losing weight. You don't have to lose weight to get healthy. You have to get healthy to lose weight. I'm not going to say word for word because I have read so much about all this stuff and I wish I could remember where I got everything, but it has something to do with metabolic syndrome and hormones, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of calories you eat. Something about this metabolic syndrome or whatever, if that's off kilter, there's like, a ton of things that it can cause, and one of them is obesity. And of the things that it can cause, obesity is, if that's the one you're stuck with, you're pretty lucky, because the other ones are really bad and can be life-threatening. Obesity, you can at least still live a somewhat normal life. You might need an extension belt on a plane, but, other than that, you're pretty good. And that just makes sense to me. I am not unhealthy by any means compared to most people. A lot of people are way unhealthier than me. And things like a bad knee, because I've had a bad knee for a long time that is now fixed because of the way I'm eating. People are like, oh, you have to lose weight, Darlene. You're gonna have to have a knee replacement. You're gonna have to lose weight because that knee, boy, you're too heavy on that knee. There are people who have never been overweight in their life and they have a knee replacement. It's like, and now it's proof. I've been heavy for over 300 pounds for like 10 years, but over 200 pounds for like 20. My knee's fine now without having lost an ounce. Zero carb is not about exact numbers. We consider the negligible amount of carbs found in meat, eggs, seafood to be insignificant. That's why it's called zero carb. Those carbs, we don't even count them. They're from the animal kingdom. All is good. We understand the term to mean carnivore, if you prefer, or eliminating all plant foods in an effort to improve our health. There is more that can point to why it improves health. I don't think it's right here in the FAQs, but if you go to the files in this Facebook group, that link is down below, you're going to be able to read so much stuff. Okay, what can I eat? Here's the interesting part. These are the optimal foods. So these are the foods that you base your meal upon, your life upon. Meat. Beef, veal, pork, chicken, duck, turkey, fish, shellfish, lamb, venison, goat, organ meat if you enjoy it. I do. Love liver. Liver, kidneys, and such. And bacon, of course. Eggs, as many as you like. Yolks are delicious and good for you. Animal fats for cooking, you want to use either beef fat, which is tallow, lard, you want non-hydrogenated lard, bacon grease, duck fat, butter, or ghee. I don't really know what ghee is, but I use butter. Salt is fine. I don't if I'm using my bacon ends because that's salty enough. Some people limit salt, others have no problems with it. Sea salt is optimal if you want to add salt. And the only thing you are going to be drinking is water. Some do have coffee and tea. I did. I'll talk to you about that again in a little bit. But that's your beverage, water. You're not drinking soda, not anything artificial sweetened, none of that. You don't want anything that tastes sweet, whether it's real or artificial. That's all gone bye-bye from your life. Okay, less than optimal foods. This means you can have them, but you may find that you would do better without them. One thing about eating this way is you are going to become very sensitive as to something that might not agree with you. For instance, I started with meat. I did include eggs, some dairy, some cheese, and cream, heavy whipping cream in my coffee. Still had coffee. And then I even got to drinking some milk. I discovered I would get so sick that I've come to the conclusion that dairy doesn't agree with me at all, and there's no reason for me to ever feel sick. So I have cut all dairy out. Okay, less than optimal. Processed meats are allowed, but check the labels. Avoid sugars and fillers like breadcrumbs, soy products. You don't want your stuff filled with that. But we love our bacon around here. Sausage, bacon, ham, pepperoni, and so on are fine. Don't make a whole meal out of sausage or pepperoni. You know, I use those as a side dish. My basic meals are meat, like beef and ground beef, some chicken. Sometimes I'll have some deli meat on the side or a hot sausage. I buy hot because there's no sugar like there is in like the sweet sausage. We frequently remind people who are new to this way of eating that including dairy may inhibit weight loss and may increase your cravings. Now these are allowed, but they're not optimal, and they will affect people different ways. Some people swear that if they have even like bites of cheese, they are not going to lose a pound. It just holds on to the weight, so they eliminate it. I have no concern with losing weight. I don't care if I ever lose weight. So I will have cheese if I want, or even if I want to feel sick and have some milk, I will. It's an animal product, and if I want to feel sick, then that's up to me, and then I'd have to like find out why the hell I'm willing to feel sick. But do know that even if it doesn't make you feel sick, and you know, like, okay, this is okay for me, if you're trying to lose weight, you may not. We do encourage you to try the first 30 days without any dairy, if you can, and then evaluate how it works for you. I didn't do it that way, but the best way to try this is just do meat and water for 30 days, and that is it. Nothing else. And then start to introduce something to see. If it makes you crave, then you know you need to stay away from that. If it makes you sick, you need to stay away from that. If you've lost all your congestion and then you have a half a cup of milk and you wake up the next day with a congested head, then you know you need to stay away from that. It's a very good way to find out what is hurting you in your normal diet. And I've done that now. I've experimented, and I went a whole week with just meat and water, and now I'm slowly starting to add a little bit of things back, like a pat of butter to cook my meat in. I know I'm not going to get much of any kind of reaction from that. You know, things like that. I still haven't dabbled with coffee. I gave up coffee, and I'm just not going back to it. I drink hot water, a big thing like this of hot boiling water every day when I get up. Spices, herbs, garlic, etc., even if the label states 0 carbs, these can interfere with your true hunger signals. Now, see, they say even if the label says 0 carbs, a lot of people, because this is called 0 carb, they think anything with 0 carbs is okay. But remember, we're talking no plants at all. All spices and herbs come from a plant. Some people are sensitive to even that little amount of stuff on their food. But since they're not considered a food, they are allowed, but not optimal. I don't put anything other than if I do need some salt, like when I cook haddock, sometimes I like a little bit of salt, and I have put some pepper. And do you know that I think that salt and pepper are not working for me, even the little bit that I put? I eat just meat and just water and nothing else. I feel like I could rule the world. I mean, it's euphoric how wonderful you feel. It's very addictive. Coffee is tricky and is considered less than optimal. Caffeine will inhibit your hunger signals and can mess with your insulin response. With this way of eating, you don't want to do anything to make you feel like eating less. You want to eat as much meat as your body needs. You have to listen to your body, and if your body wants to eat a ton of meat, you're going to eat a ton of meat. That's what you need to do to heal your body and get it back on track and let the signals start working the right way again. It'll calm down after a while, but at the beginning you might be ravenous, and you are encouraged to feed yourself with all the meat that you want. Do not use coffee in place of a meal. This includes bulletproof coffee. This has nothing to do with keto, so if you're thinking keto, erase all that. Keto is completely different than this. Eat some meat first, and then have coffee afterwards. If you do want coffee, have it like after your meal. I did have my coffee when I got up. It did not ever seem to decrease my appetite. But when I did cut coffee and the little bit of dairy that I was having, my appetite went up. And I was like, I might have been decreasing my appetite and I wasn't getting all the meat that I was supposed to get. So, it's best to just do as told and not try to play with things. Many people use coffee as an appetite suppressant and are not even aware of it. If you drink coffee in the morning and you are not hungry for hours, the coffee needs to go. Eat. Tea seems to have a lesser effect, but again, beware of the effects on hunger. Alcohol, that's just not good. It lowers our strength to be good, you know? So it might not make you eat at the time, but boy, I always wanted to eat after I was done drinking. I mean, I'm not drinking anymore, so I would just suggest don't drink. If you want to lose weight and you're drinking, try quitting drinking first. Work on that first, and then work on the rest of yourself. Mayonnaise, again, it's a tricky one. There are mayonnaises out there that include no vegetable oil and things like that. To me, anything that I have to go hunting for something special, I'm just not going to bother. I like easy. So once you get into this and you read all this, you can learn more about things like that. But there are people that they want to hang on to their mayonnaise, or they want to hang on to making a meatloaf. How can I make a meatloaf? I can't put breadcrumbs. It's like, don't even bother to make a friggin' meatloaf. Cook yourself a patty on a pan and eat it. This is not about being fancy with food or celebrating. It's fuel. It's pure fuel. Think of the lion in the jungle. The lion in the jungle is not fussy. They're hungry. They're going to eat whatever they can get their hands on, and they're not going to be upset if it wasn't made like the way Grandma made it. Things like coconut oil, that's bye-bye. Coconut is not an animal. Foods on this less than optimal, and there's other things, I'm skipping. Foods on this less than optimal list are subject to your own discovery on how these foods affect you. If you are struggling with the transition and find it difficult to eat another hamburger patty without a slice of cheese, then go ahead and have a slice of cheese. If you start with one slice, though, and end up eating 12, then you need to drop the cheese. But some people, and you go through periods where it's like, I can't eat another bite of meat. So, you know, you might doctor it up a little bit with some cheese or maybe an egg. And, you know, it makes it so much easier to put the meat down. But the thing is if you're hungry, you will eat. It will taste delicious. If you're trying to eat a hamburger patty and you're like gagging, put it down. You're not hungry. And if you're like, but I am hungry because I'm craving a piece of cake or something. If you're craving anything, you're doing something wrong. You need to find out and pinpoint, what are you eating that is keeping cravings? Did you have a piece of cheese this morning? Should be no snacking on this way of life. You wait till you're hungry, you sit down and eat until you are completely satisfied. You put the food away and you go on with your day. You don't stop and take a little piece of this and a little piece of that. You're done eating until you're hungry again. Some people on this way of life eat once a day. I eat 2 or 3 times a day and don't snack in between. I never open that refrigerator other than to guzzle my water. But no, there's no snacking. And you won't miss any of those other things that you think you're going to miss. You're going to be too busy finding other things to do. I've never been so busy in my life. It's very, very cool. Not included and not recommended. No sugar, artificial sweeteners, natural sweeteners, honey, nothing, all caps, that tastes sweet. No stevia, sucralose, diet soda, saccharin, none of that stuff, none. You cannot have any of it. You hear me? None of it. Some people try this and they're like, that didn't work for me. I still had cravings. Well, you know, I only had a diet soda. There's no carbs. Whatever. Any taste of something sweet will keep your cravings alive. Artificial sweeteners appear to be as addictive, if not more so, than regular sugar. And on and on. I'll let you read that. No fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, vegetable oils, no olive oil. None of that. Bye-bye. You're going to be shopping in the meat department. Get used to it. Will I get healthier eating only meat? We certainly believe you will. Will my particular illness or condition be cured? We can't promise that. Many symptoms related to inflammation and to metabolic issues can certainly be reduced. We have seen many people reduce or even reverse symptoms of diabetes, Lyme disease, chronic fatigue, skin conditions. That's a big one for a lot of people. Eczema that they've suffered forever, gone. Candida overgrowth, I think that has something to do with yeast. I'm not even sure. Hormonal imbalances, depression, pain, inflammation, digestive troubles. The list is long. And I'm telling you, I have experienced wonderful healings, which I'll talk to you about more in another video. The only way to know is to try this for yourself. Zero carb will not cure everything. We are not promising that. You are here for a reason, however, and maybe this seems like a last drastic effort, but if what you have been doing up to now is not working, what do you have to lose? I'm going to stop here for this one, but I do want to talk to you about more of these things. Or you can go read that talks about fiber. If you're eating just meat, you don't need fiber. And talks about poops. What can you expect in the early days? How much protein and fat? Don't measure anything on this. If you want to try, start this right now, and you don't know what to do, here's what you do to make sure you're doing it right to start. You eat meat when you're hungry. You eat until you are full or satisfied. If your belly is full, but your brain that has been addicted to food forever is saying, I still want to eat, go ahead and eat. Just eat until you can't eat anymore, until you're ready to stop. Don't punish yourself by saying, I have to put this down. You don't have to put it down. Eat as much meat as you want in one sitting. Stop. Don't eat again until you're hungry. Don't touch anything else. If you think you want to pick some more food, go make yourself a plate of meat, sit down, and try to eat it. And if it doesn't taste right to you, it's not like attractive, put it away. You're not hungry yet. You won't crave if you do this. I lost my cravings day one. Some it takes longer, but it can be day one, so try it. But you have to do it the right way and give up the other stuff. You don't need that other stuff. That other stuff is not going to help you. And then if you want to drink water. Drink all the water you want. You don't have to aim for tons of water. You drink water if you're thirsty. And that's as easy as that. So start with that while you're reading up and learning everything else, but eat meat, drink water, you won't go wrong. Don't exercise. I haven't gotten to that yet. You need to heal. If you break a leg, you don't go play football to heal your leg. You don't say, my leg is broken, I need to exercise to heal it. No. Broken legs have to heal. Then you can go exercise if you want. Think of your body as broken. It needs to rest and heal. Eat, rest, don't stress yourself. Just let your body get used to the meat. Rest all you want. Don't do any exercise. Within a matter of days, you might feel like getting up and vacuuming your floor, something that you might not have ever wanted to do before. If you're like me, who just doesn't get any activity at all because it's just so tiresome, I would go for a walk and come home and cry because it was a mental nightmare for me to take a walk, and I had big headaches and I was tired. No walking for me. None of that anymore. I spend my time now doing my dishes happily and doing more work. I'm sewing, I just have a life again. So eat meat, drink water, get rest. 3 things. Start. And if you say, I'm thinking about this, I might start later, you're not ready. If you are sick of feeling sick, again, if you're doing this for weight loss, stop. Because, first of all, there's no reason you have to lose weight. I don't care how heavy you are, you're fine. Your body does not determine who you are inside. And if you think, I need to lose weight to change my life, you are so incredibly wrong, it's not even funny. You need to change your mind. You change your mind about how you look, how you present yourself. Just love yourself for who you are and really get that. Not just say, I love myself. No, you have to really feel it. Really feel it, really get there. Then you can say, I'm perfect as I am. Are you the healthiest? Probably not. A thin person is probably not the healthiest. Don't worry about the health part of it. Get healthy in your head. Stop being concerned about losing weight. But if you are sick and depressed and have skin issues and joint pain and just all kinds of things, and you would like to try to fix that, and you are so sick of it that you're willing to try anything, try it immediately, right now. Don't look back. If you just did groceries, go give them to the neighbor, whatever. If you're at that point, this will work for you. But if you want to sit and think about it, do some research, wait till your food is eaten up, and, after the holidays or after my birthday, just stop. Stop. Don't listen to anything I have to tell you about zero carb again because you're just not ready. Here's how I explain it. If your hand is stuck in a car door and the pain is so excruciating, and you're just like, oh my God, you want to get set free, and somebody comes to you and asks if you'd like to have help to get your hand out, Would you say after my birthday, not right now, later, I want to do some research about maybe, you know, what we're going to have to do to heal my hand after the fact. No, you're in so much pain that you're going to say, get my hand out of this car door. That's where I was with my whole world of many, many years of being so sick to death of food and my addiction to it, my cravings, my just everything. I would be happy, even to this day, if we never had to eat. I don't want a relationship with food. To me, the less I have to buy and look at, the better. So this is perfect for me. I don't care if I'm down to just beef and water. And I may very well be, because for the past 2 days, all of a sudden the other stuff isn't looking so good to me. And that's what happens to many of the vets. They start with like a variety of meat, and some of them are just beef and water every day, and many of these people have been living like this for 10 years, 7 years, 5 years. I hope this at least, you know, lets you have an idea of what this can do for you. I will come back and read more of this. We're going to just talk about this a lot. And if this isn't your thing, I completely understand that. And if you're thinking you'd like to do this, but you want to wait, stop thinking about it for now. When you're suffering to the point where you can't stand it, come back. Just don't bother thinking about it. Put it out of your mind. Just tell yourself, you know what, I'm not done suffering. Because that's really the choice we have to make. Are you done suffering or not? And if you're done suffering and you want freedom from suffering, then give this a try right away, not tomorrow. It's okay to not be done suffering. You still got things to work out. And also work on, no matter what size you are the perfect size that you need to be. I tell everybody I'm the only woman I know who was over 300 pounds and does not have a pound to lose. In my world, I'm not overweight. I'm exactly the weight that my body is supposed to be. And if I eat this way and I end up losing weight, then I'm going to know that my body has decided to make a change. But if it stays this way, I'm good with it. And many people have lost weight. And the good thing for me is that it can take a long time before it kicks in. I have so much freedom in my mind right now that for the first time in my life, I'm able to just be so happy for the body that I have, because I've always hated my body because it was like something's wrong with me, that I can't fix this. Now I know there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not the reason, that my mind is not the reason that I am what I am. So I'm so free of knowing it's not my fault. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a pig. I'm not gross. You know, it's like this is just what was dealt for me, and now I'm going to make myself as healthy as I can, and if weight loss comes, that'll be okay, but I really hope I can stay this weight for at least a year and just love myself this way, because I've been obese for many years and hated it. So it's like, let me just love it. Let me just love what I have right now for a while. And I think after a year, if I start to lose weight, I'd be okay with it. But I seriously have no problem with staying this way because it has nothing to do with my size. It's all up here. So anyway, I have gone on for like way too long. I'm so passionate about this. So I really hope I can cut these down to like little videos, because I really want to tell you guys a lot of things. And I'm going to try really hard to just do little snippets. And we'll get there. That's it. Ask me all the questions that you want in the comments, and I will try to reply to each and every one of them. I really will, because if I can help you, I will feel fabulous if I can help you, if this is something that you want to try. But I will be tough with you. You know, if you're like, well, I don't know, I might try later. I'm just going to tell you right out, don't try and don't talk to me again until you're ready. I want to help people who are ready, not people who aren't done suffering. So I'll just say stuff like that to you. You're not done suffering. You got some more suffering to do. Go suffer. When you're done suffering and you're tired of suffering, come back and I'll help you. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.